Hi friends, today we're going to be working on a project about line and how we make our lines move and have lots of variety. We're going to be looking at an artist named Drew Brophy. Now Drew is a surf artist. He does these amazing paintings on surfboards and on canvas, and we're going to use all of our ideas about line, and we're going to use Drew's artwork as an inspiration right down here.
Let's assemble our materials. We'll be using sketch paper, good paper, a pencil and eraser, a Sharpie, colored pencils, and maybe oil pastels.
We'll be using a pencil and an eraser first so that we can erase our drawing if we need to, but I will be using a permanent Sharpie so that you can see me on camera.
I used this painting by Drew as an inspiration for my drawing. As you can see, I sketched first with pencil very, very lightly, and I made sure that I made all of my adjustments before I used my Sharpie. You're going to be doing the same thing, and I gave you guys some sketch paper so you have some wiggle room if you mess up. Don't worry, you don't have to draw this fast, but after we make our beautiful drawing, we are going to trace over it with our Sharpie. And if you guys hang tight, I will be able to show you how to do that next. So notice all the different kinds of lines I'm using. Wiggly, bubbly, dashed, zigzagged, curved, straight, thick, thin. Amazing. All right, so I'm actually going to start in the middle ground. That's where that little surfer guy is hanging out. So I'm going to draw again with my Sharpie so you can see on camera kind of a straight-ish line right in the middle of my paper. So you'll want to follow along with me. And remember, you can always pause the video. You can always scan the QR code on an iPad if you are behind. So another wiggly line. Hey, hair, get out of there. And now I'm going to do the sand part. So that's kind of like a wavy, wiggly line. So I'm going to draw a line that goes down, curves in, and then straight again, and then curves in. And down, and then curves, and then all the way to the edge of my paper. So now I have this kind of like wiggly V shape happening on my paper. Remember, you'll be drawing with pencil at this point, so if you need to make any corrections, now's the time. Next, I'm going to be doing the sun. And the sun is a really, really squiggly line. And it's kind of like a C shape or a semicircle. So I'm making a squiggly shape all the way down to meet the sand. If you need to make any corrections, do it now. Now I'm going to be making the squiggly line from the sun rays. So Drew has this really cool way of making the sun really look like it goes all the way up to the sky. So I'm making kind of a zigzag line that goes all the way down. And then notice I left a little space, so it looks like a backwards L. Zig, 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 all the way down. Another wiggly line all the way down. So it kind of looks like a V shape. Another squiggly line. Squiggly line all the way down. Great job. You guys get the idea. So we're doing the sun rays, but instead of doing them straight, we're making them wiggly. So it looks kind of like they're moving. zigzag line all the way up, a wiggly line across, then all the way back up again, meets all the way up to the corner of my paper, and then we can fit one more ray in there. Perfect. There are 2 circles. That makes the sun look shiny. And now I'm going to work on the shed, or the beach shack. So it's a number 11. And then part of a square shape. 2 straight lines on the bottom. A V shape, a diagonal down, and then across. Now the other side of the roof. And I'm gonna shade my door in, but you don't have to. Now I'm gonna draw some horizontal lines all the way across on my roof. And some vertical lines on the front of my beach shack. A little bit more vertical lines, and it's done. Now I'm going to make 1 big curvy line, 2 big curvy lines, and that's going to be my palm tree. 1 straight line vertical, another straight line vertical, and then 1 more straight line down, and a second straight line down. Now I have 3 palm tree trunks. Now the way I do my palm fronds is 1 line out, and then we do V shapes on both sides. So line out, V, 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 V. Line out, V, V. Oh, I did a different technique in that one. If you wanted to make more palm fronds, then you could do that too. So one of them I did 3, and this one I did 4. So I did little V shapes for the leaves. Maybe you want to put some coconuts on your tree. Maybe like a monkey hanging from the tree. So 4 lines, and then V shapes. V, 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 V. Stupendous. If you need to pause the video at any time, you can go ahead and do that. Now I'm drawing dotted lines along the sand. Remember, we're using line variety and lines that show movement. So dotted marks do definitely count as forming a line. Now I'm going to make a wiggly or curved line that comes from the beach shack, and that's going to be like the little path to get to the beach shack. Now I'm going to be doing some circles. I'm going to make a line using circles. These are going to be some stones. Maybe you'd like to add grass there. Maybe you'd like to add a little sign for your beach shack. And I'm putting a little dot on the side that shows it's kind of like a shadow, but you don't have to do that if you don't like shadows on your stone. Next, I'm going to do my surfer. So this is called a silhouette. So we've got a little bit of a kind of like a skinny oval shape for the surfboard. I've got a little circle for his head, a straight line that goes down for his torso. That's a fancy word for stomach. And then 2 lines for his leg. So we don't see a lot of details on our surfer because he's just a silhouette. which means it's a shadow. Now I'm going to draw a shadow on the sand because the sun is illuminating him, just brightening him up. All right, next step is our wave. So we're going to be making some curved lines for our wave. So a curved line that comes down, another curved line, and our curved lines are going to get smaller and smaller as they get closer to the sand. Now I'm going to turn my curved lines kind of like a C shape, and then it's going to straighten out. Now another curved line that straightens out. And then another line that goes all the way across. Great job. This is going to be the part of our wave that is crashing, that white part. So I'm doing kind of like a wiggly line. And another wiggly line. Kind of looks like the wave has a mustache. Now a backward C and a straight line. And then we're going to do this kind of like cloudy, fluffy stuff. So it's kind of like, I don't know what you would call those, little W's. Lots of W shapes. Wiggly W's. And those are the bubbles that are forming when the wave hits the water. The wave hits the sand. Whew, I can't talk. Now I'm going to be using some dashed lines or contour lines around the wave so that it looks like it's curving and it has lots of movement. You can put your dashed lines anywhere you like. If you don't want to put them there on your wave, you can put them somewhere else. And then I'm going to add a little bit of lines along the sand. So I've got some straight lines, dot, 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 straight lines, dot, dot, dot. And then we're going to be doing those background lines. So in Drew's original painting, he made this part blue. So just semicircle lines that go back behind the sun. So that's our background. Great job, friends. Put your cap on your marker, push it really tight. And now we get to do the really super fun stuff, which is coloring and shading. You can shade your design any way you'd like. I like to mix my colored pencils, so I will choose a light pattern and then a darker pattern. You can also use your oil pastels to make highlights. And last but not least, don't forget to sign it.